This is it. This is all the models.
We're at our first taste, right at the doorstep of Jacksonville's first championship for the 2025-26 season. So let's see if they come out ready to play, give it their all, leave it all on the court, blood, sweat, and tears, and hold up that championship banner.
Well, this is the point. This is the point in time when you have no choice. You can't leave anything. You can't take anything with you, especially if you're a senior, especially if you're a senior. Here we go. Marvin Christie goes for the first bucket of the game.
Okay, first foul of the game.
Yep. Not sure what that conversation was about, but I'm sure we all heard it.
Boy, to make sure I look out for the old friends.
Yep.
Get them a VIP seat.
Yes, sir. Nothing wrong with that.
Got a nice top screen there. Double screen up top. He looks like he's double teamed. Dribbles it out of bounds. First play, taps himself on the chest. My bad.
We'll see. So far, it's been a game of defense.
So far?
Yep.
Only about 40 seconds into it. Got an offensive foul against Miami Country Day and a turnover against Providence.
Already 2 missed shots. 1 on each side.
Looks somewhat of a zone that Providence is playing. Long three-pointer, nothing but net.
Number 5, Miguel Orby for 3.
See how Providence comes back to answer. Once again, this game doesn't have a shot clock. A little float by Will Stewart. Can't make the basket.
Make it.
Out of bounds against Miami Country Day. Looks like he slid a little bit on the floor.
Yep. All his doing.
But once again, playing to their game that they played last night without a shot clock gave Providence the tempo that they wanted to play with. So no rush for any shots. They always just wanted to get a good shot.
Right.
Hopefully there won't be any latency with making their three-point shots that they had set up really nicely yesterday. Just could not knock any of them down.
Here's one of them. And again, front of the rim. The dunk.
5-0 start for Miami Country Day. Hesitant to shoot the ball. Nowadays, players don't shoot 2 times in a row.
Here's one. Finally getting going.
Guanto struggled early yesterday with his three-point shot, but looks like he's ready to shoot it and release it today. Offensive rebound, block shot by Stewart.
And Kristen now has it, moves forward.
Very wide open shot at the top of the key.
Can't get
Makes
it to
that
fall.
almost every time. A shot I know he would love to have back.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Spin
Block
move,
shot.
blocked.
Yeah, we get a late whistle, but it looks to be the right call.
Foul on number 1, Luke Mayberry.
And as always, the Providence faithful, they will not agree with you.
This is that first shot.
In and out.
Looked like his form was pretty good. Left his little hang time up there, but it just didn't go in for him. So we'll see what he does on the second shot. Okay.
And he gets, yep.
6-3 lead, still early. Only about 3.5 minutes gone from this first quarter.
Providence still trying to find the range.
Literally one shot away from tying this game.
Yep.
Very hesitant on
is.
his shot. Very hesitant. He just needs to just shoot it.
Then of course not grabbing the board.
Foul on number 1, Luke Mayberry.
That's his second foul.
Second foul, yep.
Looks like Luke Mayberry walked completely off the bench while Coach Martin was trying to give him some instruction, but he makes his way back to the bench right now.
Was that Stewart on the block?
Looks like Stewart with the block, but I still love the old school basketball. Get that ball down in the post really low. Get your 2 or 3 dribbles in. Get yourself in position for a nice jump shot.
Shot from outside, good.
And that 3 was beautiful.
Yep.
Number 5, Miguel Orby for 3.
There's the answer.
Don't know much about Miami Country Day, but I can tell you, I'll take Providence shooting threes all night long versus any team in the state.
Well, I can tell you, I get the feel that we're going to have a shootout tonight. Here we go. One more. No good.
Nice rebound for Providence.
Rebound, yep.
Corner 3.
Nope.
Nice move by Christie. Sets himself up. Kicks a pass. Very hesitant again for Stewart.
Gets blocked.
The third hesitant move from him. He needs to be more decisive. Whether he's going to shoot a jump shot or attack the lane, he just needs to be more decisive.
Well, you know, that can happen. It's a championship game. Nerves might be still a little bit jangling, and a couple have fallen for you, then you start to think twice. But here he goes.
Nice rebound.
And just like that, it's a 1-point game.
Looks like a matchup for you. It's going to be an automatic foul. It was a mismatch. Looks like there's about a 6 or 7 inch height difference, so they found the matchup that they wanted. Had nothing to do but foul him in the post.
Yep.
That's going to be a loose ball foul.
Foul on number 32, Caleb Corbin.
Providence ball going forward.
It's a little over 2 minutes. It's like another foul against Miami Country Day.
Foul on number 3, Malik Charles.
Of of course, that plays into the hands of Providence.
Shooting in the bonus.
Good in the bonus.
Both teams committed 3 fouls so far. Looks like he stepped out of bounds. That is the correct call. Turnover by the Stallions again.
You could tell he thought of putting it up straight away, but again, his confidence is just not there.
Yeah, about 4 possessions for Stewart, all hesitant. Maybe that's something that the coaching staff will recognize.
Yep, here he is with the
And
board.
just let him take off for the rest of the game.
Calls for the screen.
Very
Here's the
nice
shot.
look, and that's good.
That's good basketball.
Before it left his hand, he almost knew that ball was going in. He got everything he wanted.
Nice and clean.
And there's the second mismatch. So once again, he committed a foul on a previous matchup. Good box out for the Stallions.
Yep. Christie comes forward with it. Stewart pulls the trigger. Ooh.
Much better look for Stewart without hesitation on that one. Whether he makes it or misses it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You can't miss if you don't try.
Yeah, that's correct.
Here is almost gathering the rebound.
Less than a minute remaining in this first quarter. Providence leading by 2, 11 to 9. Very bad looking shot. Looks like that foul's on Stewart.
Yep.
Foul on number 14, Ryan Gorto.
Oh, they gave it to
Foul
Gorto.
on this one, number 5, Miguel Orby will shoot 2 shots.
First shot looks good.
Looks very nice.
Second one equally. Yep.
That's who I want the ball with at the end of the game.
Yeah.
That was nice and silky there. Providence has about 28 seconds to shoot this ball or jack it up now. He misses a long 3. Looks like he had a good look.
Yeah, he did.
15 seconds remaining.
Tied at 11. Here they come. 3 seconds. Christie. And the alley-oop there.
Your first quarter score, Miami Country.
Not a great play. Not a great play. I think both players were just way off. But I think Christie was trying to find Stewart, but Stewart hasn't found himself.
Exactly. And I like for Max to kind of just say, hey, I'll put this team on my shoulder. I'm the senior. I'm the explosive one. I have, more to lose tonight than you guys. You guys are underclassmen.
Right.
So I want to be Jordan.
Yeah.
Y'all can be the 4
Be
picks.
Mike.
For the most up-to-date information on FHSAA Championship, including the complete official statistics from today's game, visit FHSAA.com, the official website of the Florida High School Athletic Association. Good luck to the players, coaches, and fans from Musco Lighting, the official exclusive lighting partner of the Florida High School Athletic Association. Whether it's a hometown field or professional stadium, you always know when it's Musco.
So the question here is, do you think the game plan is going to be the same as last night? Go for that third quarter?
We don't want to wait until the third quarter. We want to set a
Early.
statement.
Yep.
We want to set a statement now so that They have the long ride home to 305. You know, so we want it to be an even longer ride home with an L.
Right. And bad members of the 904.
Exactly. Very nice play. Very nice. Put your head down, attack the basket.
Indeed. And at this point, the one thing you don't want to see them trading baskets. You want to see a nice run from Providence, create some daylight.
Exactly. And room for error.
Right.
You know, because once again, you do have underclassmen.
Still not getting it right.
Yeah. I think Stewart's going to sit down for a little bit now.
Yeah.
Oh, we had an illegal screen.
Foul on number 24, Ryan.
Yeah, good job by Coach Martin to sit him down. I think Stewart's a little flustered.
Yeah.
Stewart is an amazing athlete. You have Coach Calvin Warner getting in his ear a little bit. So we just need you to just settle down and just play this game, because everything that you're doing right now is just a little confusing to me.
Right.
So excellent move to just sit him down, get him with one of his coaching staff, bring him back into the game in a couple of minutes.
Corner three. Short.
Yeah, the corner three shots in the previous game were borderline horrendous.
Yeah. But you had a theory for it, right? The button?
Well, yeah, so they haven't found the button over in the corner to open the lid from the corner. So maybe they'll find it a little sooner than the third quarter. Maybe someone will go click it at halftime. Looks like
Miami taking advantage of no shot clock.
Exactly. Looks like they're taking their time to get the look that they want as well. Very nice move. Both officials had the same call on 23.
Foul on number 23, Cam Kukenard.
And of course, Coach Jim Martin, he had an earful for him also.
Fouls are 1-1 at this point. A little over 2 minutes played. Very dangerous pass, especially if you're going to throw it in front of Max that way.
From deep, no good.
Offensive rebound for Miami Country Day. A scramble. Looks like one of the players' foot was out of bounds, so they're going to give the ball back to Miami Country Day. So on that scramble, his foot was out of bounds, so touching that ball while out of bounds gives the ball back to Miami Country Day. Looks like we had a substitution for Miami Country Day.
Seems to have a deep bench.
Looks like he has a very deep bench. Little razzle-dazzle and the missed layup. Looks like he's out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Looks like the officials got a little assistance from the end of the bench.
Yep. 13-13 your score. 5:29 to play in the second.
Providence likes to play and get a lot of their plays from opposite. Very nice basket.
Good basket.
A lot of their plays this first half have been run the opposite side of the table. Now I know that plays into a factor in the second half because you want not only the ball going in your direction, but you want to run more of the plays table side so that you can hear what the coach is playing. And it looks like this first half, I'm just noticing that the first pass is going to go opposite of the table, away from the table.
Right.
Very nice. That ball wanted a little showtime, camera time. Wanted to sit on the top of the rim for a little bit.
Felt like forever.
Good steal. Not sure if it was his own foot or the defender's foot, but he was definitely clipped.
Remember, there was a similar incident with a Miami player earlier in the first quarter.
That is correct. That is correct.
At the same spot.
Coach Martin giving the official an earful. Looks like Stewart's checking back in right on cue. He said we just needed him to settle for about 2 minutes just to get everything right. And then come back in this game and do
get out of his
things.
own head. Because sometimes that's all that's happening. You're just in your own head. You're telling yourself things.
Exactly.
You listen to yourself where you shouldn't be. You just go out and play the game.
So let's see how that 2-minute break for Stewart pays off for him. He is definitely an option not only on the offensive end, but defensively. He's counted on as well. So he's an integral part of the team's success. Once again, opposite of the bench is where all of their plays originate.
Stewart drives, turns, dishes to Christie.
Little unorthodox. He got the benefit of the whistle on that play.
Foul number 23, Fernando.
Literally trying to run through the trees.
At the line for Stallions, number 3, Marvin Crystal. He'll shoot 2 shots.
Yeah, I don't want to see anything unorthodox from Marvin tonight because of the situation with his Achilles. So any unorthodox or unbalanced shot could trigger
something.
Yes.
Don't want to be aggravated. Nothing
early in the game. If you want to lay it out in the second half, late third quarter, fourth period. But right now, we just need you in. We need your presence. We need your leadership. We need you to make the good decisions. And you don't have to be the fastest to make the best decisions.
True.
So just keeping him on the court.
True.
Providence still up by 2 with a little over 3 minutes remaining.
Move, puts it up.
The putback.
No good. The offensive board.
That ties the score at 19. Little under 3 minutes.
Pretty pedestrian score, do you say?
Very pedestrian. A whole lot of yellow marks on the sidewalk.
Yep.
Downhill for Fernando on that basket, just straight downhill. Either you're going to block this shot, I'm going to get a foul, or I'm going to make it. Just downhill.
Yep.
And that's what I would have liked to see Will Stewart do early in this game.
Christie, off balance that time.
Off balance shot, switches to the left hand late in the air.
Turnover. Here comes Stewart for Providence.
Just go. Oh, yeah. That's it. Well, that would be Providence. When I say just make a decision and go. What's going to happen? I'm going to make it, I'm going to get fouled, or you're going to block it.
Right.
And Will has bunnies, so you're not going to block it, so only good things can happen.
And here he is on the defensive glass.
Very high.
Let's do it again. What does he do this time? Gets it to Nelson.
The lack of the shot clock is giving us these pedestrian scores.
Yes. Here's Stewart. Locked. But you give him credit for one thing. He went in for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So once again, one of the three things were going to happen. He's going to get it blocked, he's going to make it, or he's going to get fouled.
Perry Williams, brother to Mr. Barker of the FHSAA. It's also another block ball.
21-21.
Used by schools across
104 to go at the half.
Advanced water safety technology with student athletes, coaches, and
Man, I've always said this, Ron.
together, we're sure every
If you want to see the best of a tournament, get to semi-final.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you just don't know what you're going to get in the final.
That exactly is
And I mean,
true.
yesterday wasn't the most explosive semi-final there was, but it wasn't as pedestrian as this.
But I also think leaving a lot of seconds on the clock because of the lack of the shot clock
Right.
is playing into this.
Right.
Because we're going to get more shots in the game when we force them to put the shot up.
Exactly.
So now, I mean, you can shoot whenever you want to. A few ticks over 1 minute, and we're at 21-21.
Yep.
If I'm walking in from the parking lot, I look at the score, I'm saying, oh, I just made it to the first quarter. No, we're 1 minute away from halftime right now.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's interesting that, you know, at the state championship that is happening because this is why the shot clock was invented in the very first place.
So, from what I was told by the officials and the leaders of the FHSAA, next year it won't even be an option. It will be mandatory.
Right.
So unless both teams agree, there's no shot clock because it's technically still in its exploratory.
For me, just use it. Most of these players, they're watching college ball. They're looking forward to playing college ball.
Exactly.
They're watching the professionals.
Exactly.
There are shot clocks.
Exactly.
Get used to it. Learn the limits.
Answers right back. Right about 15 seconds remaining in this first half. We're tied at 24-24. Oh, no. Had an opportunity, had Will Stewart on the break. And only good things happen when he's on a fast break.
Indeed.
2.7 seconds. Will they launch and heave it?
We're going to end it tied.
Your halftime score, Providence 24 and the Providence Stallions 24.
Well, I don't think there's much summary to summarize in this first half. Not quite what we expected, but you know, it's basketball, it's sports, it's a final.
Exactly. So I would say this. I've seen Providence, and I've seen Providence play well. And I'm thinking they're not playing well, and they're not down.
Right.
So that's a positive thing for them. So if they could get the coaching adjustment and play Providence basketball, I think the second half will be much more exciting for them.
Well, I asked you earlier if we're going to get the third quarter surge. You said you didn't want it.
I didn't want it.
No, you have no choice.
But sometimes you don't get what you want.
Exactly.
You get what you need.
Because I think that's probably what they're going to go for again. Because here's the thing. You don't want, at the end of the third quarter, to be anything that looks like 24-24.
That is correct.
You know what I'm saying? Going into the fourth quarter. That's the last thing you want because that gives your opponent way too much chance over that 8
Give
minute
them
period.
hope.
Yes.
And hope is the last thing you want an opponent to have.
Exactly.
So put your foot down, put your foot to the gas, put your foot on their neck, suffocate, make big shots, get this majority Providence Stallions crowd on your side.
Right.
And so right now they really don't have too much to cheer for with the tied game at 24-24.
Indeed. Well, all right, that's it, Ron. We're going to take a break. Watch the halftime show.
Absolutely. So we'll see you guys in about 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yep. All right, so we're back for the second half, third quarter of this Class 2A Boys Championship game here at the FHSAA State Championship. Why am I getting tongue-tied? I have no idea.
Too many close-sounding letters.
Yeah, that's it.
We need to move to Georgia or South Carolina. I think it'll be a little bit easy.
Like
the GSHAA in Georgia.
So simple. Courtney Wallace here checking back in with Ron Jarrett. We are taking this one in. And Ron, we start the half pretty much where we started the game.
0-0. We started even.
Yep.
And so, you know, had we known this, we could have just simply started in the second half.
Started at 3.
Started in the third quarter.
Miami with the first possession of the quarter.
Dancing up top, hits the elbow on the shot.
And that one is on Stewart, right?
And Stewart holds his hand up as if he didn't foul, but it clearly hit his elbow on that shot.
And we did point out before that for Miami, they're looking to complete the double because their ladies won their championship earlier today.
That is right. So additional motivation for Miami Country Day.
And you know what? Miami, they knocked off a Jacksonville team in the semis.
That is correct.
They beat San Jose Storm.
That is correct. Misses both free throws.
So a little revenge factor might be on the line here tonight. Not sure Providence knows or even cares. They just want to wrap this one up. Here is Stewart. Turns. Puts the shot up. Can't get it to fall.
Off balance shot by Stewart.
Again, still a little bit indecisive. Not sure what he wants to do.
Looks like they have someone in the post.
We played just over 2 minutes in the third quarter. What if I tell you we're still tied at 24?
We're still tied. So, just like we said, we could have just began the game in the second half. We could have just began in the third quarter, the 6 minute mark.
Yep.
Foul on number 23, Fernando Romero.
So it was looking good for Stewart until the foul, which.
At the line, the Stallions.
But now he's at the line.
Well, let's see if he can capitalize on that hard foul. think it's just a tough night for Stewart.
Yeah. Probably a little bit of tension. Maybe the occasion getting to him.
Now, I will say that he's jumping out of the gym on the defensive rebounds.
He is.
So no one's getting higher than Will on those rebounds, but offensively, he just looks to struggle a little bit.
There he goes, and he took it. You could see the deep sigh of relief there. He needed that.
Right.
Now he's back to work. There's one thing about it, you're not going to blow by him just like that.
Good rebound by the Stallions.
Foul on number 22, Fernando Romero.
It's almost like a clothesline.
Didn't look too pretty. Now, it does look like it was sold just a little bit. I don't think guys who spend that much time in the gym every day of the week fall that
easily. You know what? Today, Ron, tonight we're going to practice our fall.
I'm not going to practice my fall. You won't see me on the Sunshine State Broadcasting for a while if I start practicing my fall. Looks like he stepped out of bounds, possibly.
Over 3 minutes played in the third quarter. How many points have we scored?
We scored uno.
One.
And another turnover by the Stallions. And they can't capitalize. Okay, that's
three. Good. On the board, Nelson. Loses the handle. So we could always look at the game and say our Stallions not doing well. But if you're Miami, you're probably saying the same thing.
You're probably saying that. And then, if you're a glass half full type of guy, both teams can literally say, well, we're holding our opponents defensively. So whether it's intentionally or unintentionally,
That's what's happening.
they can say we held our opponent to less than 30 points midway through the third quarter.
Wow. Who would have thought?
So you can go half empty, half full to describe what we're seeing in this low-scoring affair here. And another turnover by the Stallions.
Yeah, I think they played a little bit too well in the semi.
Well, all you can ask, especially in certain environments, is to just have it close. Either way.
Either way, yeah.
Just have it close. Wide open three from the corner. Doesn't even touch the rim. Good look.
Oh, block.
Looks like that ball hit the backboard. Very nice Kobe-like move.
Can't get it to fall. Well, you know, the crowd, they needed something to wake them up. They got it. Not what they're looking for, but they got something.
Now, I often say, in officiating, you will have a good call, you'll have a not good call, and then you'll have an unpopular call. And in that particular situation, I don't want to say it was a good call, and I don't want to say it was an unpopular call. Courtney, we're only a couple seconds, about 4 minutes, and both teams have scored
1 point. 25-25. Unbelievable. And again, it wasn't good. It didn't look good. Sold well.
As I said, these young men spend a lot of hours in the weight room.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that they fold like paper that easily.
They don't. So that's why in soccer they now have the assimilation fault.
That's correct.
Well, the front of the ring that time was Nelson. Steps back. Takes a look.
Now, I don't know how the timeouts are going to play into the game. Only one timeout used by both teams the entire game.
Well, you don't need them.
Miami Country Day still has all 5 of their timeouts, and Providence has only used 1 timeout. I'm thinking that if your team is playing that poorly, that you're going to have to use a timeout to get them regrouped.
Stewart. Oh.
Looks like Christie's going to go to the line. Looks like it was a loose ball foul.
Well, I said they don't need to use the timeouts because here's the thing. You came into the third quarter pretty much the same way you went out.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know, if you're coming from the locker room,
1 point off.
Yeah, what else can I say? What can I say to you?
Yeah.
This is Courtney. And if anybody's going to do it, I think he's the man.
Yeah.
He has to be.
Yeah. Almost 5 minutes, and the Stallions have only scored 2 points. And those have been at the free throw line.
Yeah. Which means there have been some misses at the free throw line also.
Exactly. All 3 points for the Stallions have come at the free throw line. Looks like the Stallions want to make a move. Looks like he got away with an illegal dribble.
There is a need for a person at all levels and in all sports, and you can help fill those needs. We invite you to join the thousands of men and women in the FHSAA.
Do you think this time out is to say, hey, what do you do that?
Right.
Interscholastic competition. If you're interested, contact the Florida High School Athletic Association's office in Gainesville, or visit the official website at becomeofficial.org.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah, with only 3 minutes remaining in the third period, not the first or the second period, but 3 minutes remaining in the third period, Miami Country Day uses their first timeout.
But more importantly though, Providence has a 4-point lead.
That is correct.
So, with 3 minutes to play, if they can increase, hold and increase, they set up a nice fourth quarter. Because again, Miami, they too don't have the momentum on their side.
That is correct. And I was going to use that same word, Courtney. Momentum looks to kind of sway towards Providence.
Right. They need to force a turnover here.
All right.
Take back possession
Looks
of the
like
ball.
we're getting a little touchy at guard play, so we got to kind of keep our eyes on that.
And that's exactly what Providence is looking for.
Okay. I think a conversation could have happened with the officials, very close to an intentional foul.
Yep.
The pushing it back
But then that is something that I hope the coaching staff of Providence is seeing though, because if Miami's getting frustrated and getting rattled, you just need to keep doing what you're doing.
100%. So for the next 2 minutes and 34 seconds, you can literally go to the free throw line where you've gotten the majority of your points this quarter.
But you've also missed too many. Way too many.
And misses another.
Both of them.
And misses another layup. So they're leaving points at the line and under the basket. And once again, I think Miami Country Day has the H word on their side, hope.
Right.
Because if they make this three-pointer, which they do, you've given them hope. So now they're only down by 1 point.
Right. You gotta score the basket. Gotta score baskets. Because now you're back to being a 1 point game.
Backdoor cut. Another turnover by the Stallions.
Foul on number 33, Roland Nelson.
It's like the third foul of the half for the Stallions.
It is.
Had a substitution for Miami Country Day. Can take the lead on any shot made.
Good board.
Looks like another foul.
Foul on number 11, Jordan Courtney.
His last two free throws did not look good.
At all.
At the line for the Stallions, number 1, Luke Maven.
Here he is again.
2 shots.
1 point game, 1:30 to play.
And he's a senior as well. So getting your seniors to the line to make shots.
Yep.
Now that one actually looked pretty good.
There you go. That's it.
Stallions up by 3 with 1:25 left in the third period. Looks like the partner's going to get some help. Looks like we may overrule that call. And so it goes.
So the momentum swing is still with Providence. How they take advantage is now up to them.
But for Miami Country Day to have some
Nelson. Having a nice and one play there.
Foul on number 24, Ryan Miranda.
for Miami Country Day to have some turbulence and some sputtering in this quarter, literally one shot away from tying the ball game.
Always. They're never out of it.
So once again, giving them hope.
Yep.
Making free throws erases hope. Making easy buckets erases hope.
Yep.
But right now, 4 points. I like my chances against the Los Angeles Lakers being down by 4 points because any two shots can go in.
Yep. Absolutely. But at least Providence have cleaned up their efforts at the line because, you know, they're only free throws if you take them.
Looks like we got some post activity. Looks like a couple of shoves in the post.
Yep. Way short.
Another missed layup. So once again, that three-point basket gives Miami Country Day hope.
Hope, yep.
Springs eternal.
I think Mayberry there, I didn't think he played for the bucket, he played for the foul. It's going to be off.
After three quarters of score, the Providence Stallions 33, and the Miami Country Day Spartans 31.
Yeah, but to your point,
We had a
Miami cannot at any point feel like we're out of this. Right there, and we just need a couple more shots made, and that's it.
If you have an 8-6 quarter, you feel good.
Yeah, that's definitely good.
For athletes who perform their best, they require the best. And that's what Wilson has delivered for over 100 years. Learn more at Wilson.com. Tonight's game in the 2026 FHSAA Class 2A Boys Basketball Championship is sponsored by the Florida High School Athletic Association. The FHSAA is a democratic organization with a membership of more than 870.
But I can tell you, Providence pulls this one off. There's going to be a collective sigh of relief in this. You'll be able to hear it from outside.
In this whole city.
Building leaders through teamwork, sportsmanship, and citizenship.
Once again, I think this will be one of the loudest celebrations of a championship, only because the previous championship games that we had were predominantly by teams down south, who may not have been represented well with their crowd.
Right.
Providence is represented not only with their school, but it looks like they're represented by the city as well.
Yep. And again, it's good for the city to realize that regardless of which school in particular, at this point in time, it's more about the city than the school.
That is correct. That Jacksonville has some ballers. They have a championship, great team, school here.
And again, you don't want the FHSAA to think that they made a poor decision in coming to Jacksonville. Right?
That is correct. Well, I'll tell you, there's plenty of shopping, plenty of stores less than 2 miles away from this very nice university.
Oh, right,
so they
corner,
did
Town
not,
Center.
that is
Right
correct. So they did not make a mistake whatsoever, because I've been to Lakeland for many a years.
Yep, that's always the complaint. There's nothing. Big against big. Nelson gets the call.
Foul number 32, Caleb Courtney.
So what we've seen in the last 4 or 5 minutes is anything to go by. This game is going to be won in free throws.
I think that, but I do like the fact that if it is won by free throws, that means the teams are taking the ball to the basket.
Indeed.
So if it's won by free throws, either way, at least we know that missed free throw. At least we know that we're trying to get to the basket to score.
It's just nerves, Ron. Nerves.
Yeah, I think it's the stage, like you said, Courtney. You have almost an elite coaching staff at Providence as you go down and see former coaches and ballers on that staff.
Yeah.
3-point lead for the Stallions. A little over 7 minutes left.
Good steal.
Great steal by the Stallions. I think it's still a little too early to take composed shots. I think we still need to attack the basket, still be aggressive, just like that, and misses.
You gotta make him.
So many shots left on the table for the Stallions. Free throws.
Yeah. All right.
That was a shot that they wanted them to take.
A chance for a reset. Let's do it again. Now we have a 6-point lead. Here's the thing. It's a 6-point league. It's still only 2 possessions.
It's still only 2 possessions.
Still got work to do.
With 6 minutes.
Right.
The officials are getting an earful by Miami Country Day's coach.
Yeah.
Alleging that there was a travel violation on that last 3-point shot.
But I tell you what, one thing. At this rate, the Stallions just need to hold. Just need to hold.
That's it.
Yeah. You have the lead, you have a 6-point lead, 6 minutes to play. Cut this in baskets.
Not only that, a 6-point lead will allow you the comfort of a trading basket situation.
True. And here's the thing though. Without the shot clock, that's how we're working against Miami.
That is correct.
Right? Providence knows how to work it. We saw that last night.
Oh, did we?
Right. So now they can work it. And they're looking good.
Right at 6 minutes for Miami Country Day. There you go. So now it's a 4-point lead.
Right.
So as we mentioned a little bit before, that 6-point lead afforded you the trading basket
Right.
situation where it would be inconsequential for you to trade baskets with them.
But now you gotta make this. You gotta make this.
So right on cue, the trading basket doesn't hurt you now with that 6-point lead.
Now what you need to do is force a turnover. There you go.
Nice scramble by both teams trying to get that ball. Providence gets another opportunity. Got a substitution for Miami Country Day.
Takes out the big man. He can, that number 23 player is a key one for the Spartans because they don't want to keep him off the floor for too long.
That's correct.
But again, the effectiveness of these key players on the court has been kind of questionable tonight because they haven't seen any one player who has actually gone out there and taken the game by the scruff of the
And
neck.
stood out, like
Yeah.
you said. So I think it's a group and collective effort by the Stallions to bring on that championship. We had our hopes really high to see a show by Marvin Christie or even Stewart tonight, but it looks like, hey, we're just going to be even keeled and bring home this championship tonight.
There's an old saying, an ugly win better than a pretty loss.
It's still a win.
Yeah. At this point, we don't care. Let's go.
Now that's Providence basketball. Find the open player. We have 4 players at all times that can make a 3.
Right.
So all we have to do is find the open player.
No, we might not see it just yet, but the gravity and enormity of that three-pointer cannot be understated.
It cannot. It cannot. Very huge play.
Yep.
It sends a statement, so much of a statement, that it causes another timeout to be called by the Spartans.
Like you said, the luxury of not calling timeouts, that's gone. you better use
using them now.
Yep. Once again, they need a turnover.
Great defense, perimeter defense.
Yep.
Those big shots give you energy.
They do. And a missed shot on the board. Nelson, can he?
Looks like a foul against the Spartans.
Go back to the lack of a shot clock. You're playing good defense, but because your opponents they don't love to hurl shots, so they keep you there working longer.
Exactly.
So no matter how good your defense is, you just have to be consistent. You can't let up.
9-point lead for the Stallions.
Yeah.
Just a little bit over 4 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter.
You think another 10 points with it? Or more?
I think they need 10 points. When you have turnovers like that,
Gotta pass to the bench.
unforced turnovers.
Yes. The cross court at that.
I mean, literally 4 more inches, we could have caught that ball up here where we were standing.
One of the old adages in championship ball game, man. The team that makes the least mistakes, the one most likely to win. Because then you get punished like that.
And you cut the lead to 6 points.
Yep. Back to 2 possessions.
With just over 3.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. 2 shots evens this ball game. Especially when you're getting unforced turnovers like you did on the last one.
Yeah.
And then another almost.
Sometimes you need a little bit of luck.
Very close to getting a technical foul on that play for taunting.
On the line for Stallions, number 13, William Stewart. He'll shoot 1 shot.
All right, here's Stewart. Let's see what he's got. Looks good.
It's very good. It's very good. Back to a 9-point lead.
Yep.
Just over 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. But still not out of it. They have a few 3-point shooters for the Spartans who can still keep this game relatively close going downhill. Very nice move.
I'll tell you what, if the Spartans keep doing that, then Providence can start breathing a little bit easier.
Providence definitely has control of this game at this time.
Yep.
Exactly
It's
3
theirs
minutes.
to lose.
Exactly 3 minutes remaining, 9-point lead.
Yep.
Once again, the trading basket scenario is in full effect. We'll let you score, but we're going to go back down and score. Looks like Providence is working a lot of the clock.
Yep. Good. Kicks up.
Passes
Nelson.
up.
Passes up a 3. Christie. 1-2.
Timeout, Stallions.
9-point lead with 2 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
Yeah. I mean, 2 minutes of ball game is a long time, but I still believe that the game is Providence to lose.
I think the Jacksonville faithful can taste their first championship in many years.
There's a kind of a nervousness in that arena. Can you feel it? Or maybe it's just me.
I think Providence is in control.
They are. They are.
Providence may have been the last team to win a championship from Jacksonville. Definitely have to check my research on that. But I do believe that Jacksonville won the last state championship here. Providence won the last championship here in Jacksonville.
Well, you know one thing for certain, they're in with a glorious chance.
Yes. 2 minutes and 22 seconds from an eruption here at UNF Arena.
Yep. Oh no.
And there's your turnover. So you don't breathe so easily, especially if he makes this shot.
He does.
So once again,
Don't make it hard for yourself.
2 possession game still. And are they told not to shoot the ball? Okay.
Even if we're doing 3 for 2s.
Exactly. Time is of the essence right now.
Yep.
Keep that clock running. We can trade baskets.
All
Even
night.
give you a...
Foul on number 33, Nolan Nelson.
And then Providence needs also to understand that Miami, they have to shoot the ball. They can't play with it. They can't play the time game. They gotta shoot. But don't make it easy for them like that.
Yes. So once again, he can make this free throw, cut it to 6, which is 2 possessions. And the way that Providence has been careless with that ball, that was a violation. He walked on the court with the ball and allowed another teammate to go take it out. And that's what the coach is screaming. That's a violation. Yeah, he literally was out of bounds with the ball, walked on the court with the ball to give it to his teammate who took it out of bounds, which should have been a violation against the Stallions.
So now Courtney makes the first free throw, 7-point game, 119. Once you see that 19 goes, then it's pretty much towards the race. Stewart with the board.
That possession belongs to the Spartans. 75 seconds remaining in this game. Little dancing on the perimeter. Drive to the basket. Looks like an offensive foul. Oh, and they call a block. Looks like he extended his arm and pushed the defender onto the ground, but gets the benefit of the call from the officials.
That was interesting.
And they call it before the shot. Only Providence's second foul of this fourth quarter.
106 with 7. Shot from outside and no good. That's it. Providence will take control of the ball. 54 seconds to play. 48-41, Ron.
Yeah.
48-41, Ron.
Okay.
Sensing a little something?
Yeah, so what happened was the official was on the court. The ball hit the official. In that scenario, the official is part of the floor.
Right.
So if the ball stayed on the floor, the player should have been able to get the ball. Free throws for the Stallions.
43.5.
At the line for Stallions, number 3, Marvin Christie, will shoot 2 shots.
So he buries this one up to 8 points.
Yeah, very close to 10 that we asked for,
Yeah.
but
And he buries it. And still has more to come.
so we want a 10-point victory for the Stallions to win their championship.
Yep. And he gets it.
That was a foul. A late whistle, but it was the correct call.
Foul on number 3, Marvin Christie.
He won't mind that.
We can trade baskets at this point with 36 seconds remaining.
Makes the first one. 50-42. Makes the second one. 7-point game.
Timeout, Spartans.
The Spartans.
This is a reminder, please stay on the court.
A timeout. I guess he's not leaving any of them.
I love it. I love it. As a coach, I haven't lost any games and had timeout.
But from the looks of it, Jacksonville is about to take home a state championship. Last 2A boys. Providence, they're in pole position. Alright, here we go, Ron. 36.8 seconds to play. Providence has the ball.
Okay, so
Foul call.
yeah, but the high school rule is
Foul on number 3, Malik
If
Charles.
there is a foul before the player inbounds the ball, it's considered an intentional foul.
At the line for the Stallions, number 1, Luke Baker. He'll shoot
I tell you this much, Providence at this point won't care. They're at the line. Chance to increase to 8.
No time off the clock, still at 36.8.
Yep. Gets the first one. This is the second. 32-31. About 30 seconds to play. Miami's got to make something happen here. Providence being tight on defense. 4 shots. That's it. Providence will lift the state championship. Class 2A. Come on, baby! The first round is here. Basketball season.
Fans are reminded to please stay off the board. In order to get on the free, limited to the runner-up and changing teams momentarily. We encourage you to stick around and join us as we recognize the players.
Robbie, what say you? Speechless?
I'm speechless.
I see.
Because the 25-25 halftime score
Right.
worried me just a little bit.
But here's why I was overly worried. At 25-25, it means Miami wasn't doing anything.
That is correct.
You see what I'm saying? So it was even. It was then up to Providence to make a move. And because of what we saw last night with that third quarter, I figured they would have made a run for it because I just didn't see where Miami was shaping up to do anything.
That is
They
correct.
were equally as flat.
A couple of huge shots, especially a three-pointer by Providence, which separated the lead, took that 6-point lead to 9.
And I tell you what, I'm looking at Stewart's face, and you can tell that he's happy, but he wanted to give more.
He didn't give us his best
Yeah,
tonight,
he wanted to give more.
but I think he gave us enough tonight.
Oh, he did. But again, like you said, he's so multifaceted that if something doesn't work, he knows how to get something else to work.
And he did that.
He did that.
And defensively,
Absolutely. Oh,
he was the chairman of the board.
Yep. Yep.
So he definitely contributed in that regard.
Yep.
Offensively, he sputtered, but you know that's what teammates are for.
Right. And you know what? For Marvin Christie, he did his work last night.
He got him here.
Yeah.
He put him in position to not have an outstanding game today,
Right.
and still win
Still
the
win.
2A championship.
Yep.
So congratulations and kudos to Providence.
Well, this is beautiful to see, though.
Oh, absolutely.
As we just stand here and take it in.
We absorb
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the court for the awards ceremony. Presenting the team trophies on behalf of the Florida High School Athletic Association is Ed Thompson. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 Class 2A state runner-ups, the Miami Country Day Spartans.
And commiserations to the Spartans.
Yeah. And as we said a little bit earlier, not to rub it in, but Providence wanted to make it a longer ride home to
Right.
the 305. Because you go back with a championship, it seems like that 5-hour drive is only a couple of hours.
Only a couple of hours.
But if you take that loss back to the 305 with you, it seems like that ride is almost to Cuba.
And then again, also not to rub it in, but tonight they probably have some 904 night games.
Stallions. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 Class 2A state champions, the Providence Stallions.
Courtney almost lost his glasses during that celebration. He says, hey, let me move out of the way of these young kids. You take this trophy, I'm going to stand in the background.
But you know what though? That's only one down. There's more to go.
Still 3 more opportunities for Jacksonville to celebrate at center court here at the UNF Arena.
Yep. I mean, again, commiserations to Impact. We'd have loved to have seen them celebrate today. It wasn't to be.
This time.
This time.
But they've made a name for
Oh,
themselves.
they have. Most definitely. Most definitely. And then, of course, come Monday, Jackson. Here in Ashland.
That's going to be a pretty good game.
Oh, it is. It is. And like you mentioned it last night, man, the bragging rights. Jackson will look at this and like, oh, we're coming.
We're coming too.
Yeah.
And there's a few Jackson high school players here at the arena tonight.
They've been here since last night.
A few of the starters are still here.
Yep.
And they get a taste or a glimpse of what they can be doing next week.
Indeed. And that final, of course, is set for next week, Wednesday.
So,
but of course, I hear a little birdie told me that somebody might miss or will miss all of that.
yeah, but you know, I will definitely be here in spirit.
You'll be missed, my man. You'll be missed. But it's great hanging out with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Always love working with you, my friend. And
Definitely.
we get to call a championship together.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's definitely a pleasure to do so.
Sure.
So, we miss Scott here tonight, and we also miss Troy. Troy's trying to get his Tiger Woods on, but I definitely enjoyed myself hanging out with you tonight, Courtney, and represent the Sunshine State Broadcast Network tonight.
Yes, sir. Well, thanks for being here, man, and thanks to those of you who are watching it, and thanks to all the people who have supported us over the years. Please remember, like, subscribe, share, comment. Help us to keep this going, to build this thing, keep it going. Once again, thanks to Ron as we sign off for this Saturday night. Congratulations to the Providence Stallions. They galloped away with the Class 2A FHSAA State Championship.
State champions here in Jacksonville.
All right, we're signing out.
Signing out.